You got me here for, so I'm available. I'm not running. Okay. Where are the migrants coming from in this wave? The migrants in large part are coming from Venezuela. What's happened in Venezuela? The United States, after President Hugo Chavez came to power almost 15 years ago, he has since has died. He was a socialist and was doing a lot of economic reforms. There was a backlash against his government by the United States. So we started doing an embargo, blocking his oil sales. Then from there, we started the sanctions under the Trump administration. So what's happened in the last 15 years in Venezuela is they've had the equivalent of 3 Great Depressions. So this is one of the wealthiest countries on earth if they could sell their oil. But they've had the equivalent of 3 Great Depressions. So now over 7 million people have had to leave their country. Many of the people that you're seeing in these shelters and police stations and so forth had a house, had an apartment, had a place to stay. But because we've taken them out of the foreign exchange process, the United States government, you cannot use a U.S. credit card in Venezuela. They cannot sell their oil to the United States. They have suffered 3 Great Depressions. And because we're the only country in the region and in the world that has a problem with Venezuela, they want to leave. And in turn, the bordering countries end up welcoming them and transporting them to the next city, all the way to the Mexican border. So from Caracas, Venezuela to Chicago, Illinois is 2,499 miles. You can walk to Caracas, Venezuela. You can drive to Caracas, Venezuela. You can bicycle to Caracas, Venezuela. You don't need to fly. You don't need to take a boat. It's one contiguous landmass is what I want people to understand. And then we're going to go into a deeper dive on how did we get to this current challenge.
Shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, salutations to you sincere Akim out there pushing the truth, right, to the elect of Israel. All right, and why does this brother keep bringing out facts on this? Well, number one, this is something that I basically see every day because these people have been displaced and their country has been completely destabilized, right, by the bully, the United States, right, who's tried to dominate, has basically dominated the whole world. But this is also prophecy. This is Jeremiah 50:33. Right? When you look at our nations, all of the check marks in the scriptures for who we were, they're all checked. All right? In the place where it said that we are not my people, then it will be said, you are my people. All right, it says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were pressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. Basically, they went through 3 Great Depressions, he said, in a series of 15 years. Hyperinflation. The United States wouldn't buy the oil. Probably put pressure, put pressure on the region to not really do business with them like that. All right, and here these people are. And they threw them right in Jake's neighborhood, which, the kingdom of Judah, they pissed off because they feel like, well, this money should have went to us and this and that. But you can clearly see that Esau treated them way different than he treated the Ukrainians. All right, those Amalekites who fled out of Israel as well. All right, which they we already know how they're gonna be treated, like royalty, because they're the same nation. That's their people. All right, and this whole thing is problem, reaction, solution. Problem, reaction, solution. All right, these people in a damn tent. They got tents in front of the police station. All right, which ultimately the Lord, what did he say? He said from a particular city, Caracas, he said it's about 2,500 miles. So the Lord set that whole situation up to bring some of these people here for them to receive judgment and to pull the elect out. Amen. The Lord is cold. All right, which, hey, you have to see everything through the lens of the scriptures, because Jake is emotional. Oh, we don't want them in our community. Look, man, you don't control anything in these communities. All right, matter of fact, on the south side, it was Edomites. It was a lot of primarily Edomites up to a certain point. Then Dr. King got killed, and a lot of them, fled. But they still will own the businesses. They'll still, have some of these churches, these older churches. They'll still, use. All right, but prophecy is prophecy. And that's why we need a redeemer. It says, the Redeemer is strong. The Lord of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. A sword is upon the Chaldeans, saith the Lord, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon, and upon her princes, and upon her wise men. And we know in the modern day, that sword is coming. It's many swords, many forms of destruction coming. All right, and yeah, we have the 12 tribes sign. Oh, that's from one west to the well, the 12 tribes sign explains who these people are. All right, Deuteronomy 32:3-24, and of Asher, which Asher is what? Brazil, Venezuela, all of those countries of the northern part of South America. Okay, and then the southern part we know is Naphtali. But of Asher, he said, let Asher be blessed with children, which they got a lot of children. Women, a lot of the women got them big old booties. Let them be acceptable, them big hips. Let him be acceptable to his brethren, and let him dip his foot in oil. All right, what did he talk? The oil. They have the law, the leading, the world's largest oil reserves, or they're in the top numbers. But they can't. The U.S. put sanctions on them. All right, which is crazy. They don't like your leader. They don't like how he came to power. He's corrupt. Well, shit, look at your ass. Look at all these people in office over here. Look at Creepy Joe, who said, I like when those kids were sitting on my lap. Look at Trump. You could write a bunch of books on his ass. All right, look at Obama. Look at Bush. Look at Clinton. These niggas got the nerve to talk about who they don't like. Which, usually when they don't like you is because you're actually helping your people, and they want to come in and destabilize your country. Pay off the sellouts or put the terrors up into power, and then keep Jake under oppression. That's when they fuck with you. Thy shoes shall be iron, right? Primary place Asher's in is what? Brazil, Barbazal, which is rich in iron and brass. And thy days, so shall thy strength be. And as thy days, so shall thy strength be. Excuse me. Like I said, you got a lot of fighters out of there. A lot of champions. Who was that just fighting? Just got took down by a Brazilian in UFC, the Black Beast. What's his name? There's no jiu-jitsu having ass. You can look him up though. Yeah, Derek Lewis. And Derek Lewis is Judah. Derek Lewis will knock you out. But the little Asherite dude he was fighting, who's undefeated, he kept him on the ground. You know, he was able to keep his weight down, stay on top of him. Derrick Lewis couldn't do shit. All right, which if you're a real fighter, man, you got to know jiu-jitsu. That shit was horrible. That shit was very painful to watch. All right, striking is only one component. You know, they said Jacob wrestled the angel. But that's another topic for another conversation. All right, back to the scriptures. Because, hey, man, you have to, if you don't have this book, if you don't have this knowledge, if you don't have this information, and you really fall for what the narrative that these people throw at you and the emotions, and, you know, a lot of shit we understand, man. It's out of our control. This is Esau Edom doing it. The Lord brought these people here. Okay, so what? You got a lot of 2/3 niggas here too. All right, Job 10:21. It says, before I go whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death, a land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death without any order, and where the light is as darkness. All right, and that's what we're in, man, the valley of the shadow of death. This place is full of darkness. And we all walked in darkness once. What is it? And Paul had to remind the Ephesians a couple of times, like, hey, man, remember. All right, Ephesians 2:1, and you hath he quickened who were dead in trespasses and sins, where in time past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. All right, Satan. When you look down there in Venezuela and Brazil and all those places, they have those big, festivals. They'll actually have a balloon, or a float, with a damn devil on it. Then they got one with Cesare Borgia. You already know that. Another devil coming as an angel of light. He got all white on. You know the picture. All right, they'll pin, a bunch of money to it. Basically praying to a false god. All right, jumping down to the point, verse 7, that in the ages to come, he might show the exceeding riches of his grace and his kindness toward us through Yahushua Mashiach. All right, that's what we're in, man. Grace. We all walked according to darkness. All right, for by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of the Most High. Not of works, lest any man should boast, for we are his workmanship, created in Yahushua Mashiach, unto good works, which the Most High has before ordained that we should walk in them. So you have to, even though your works don't save you, you still walk in like you said, in good works. All right, because it's about to get a lot of these people. They're from a tropical climate. They're from a little bit up under the equator. All right, the equator being in Central America. Ecuador, if I'm not mistaken, named after the equator. All right, but now it's about to get Chicago cold, which the Lord. I can say this, it's November, it's still in the 50s, so the Lord has been merciful. The Lord has been very merciful. The Lord has mercy on who he will. All right, but it's about to get real cold. It's about to be a lot of, what's called crimes of necessity. You know what I'm saying? I need to eat. My child needs this. We need a heater. We need, no more just petty stuff. Run in the store, take a bag of chips. It's about to be some, look, man, we going to need an apartment. We going to need a car. We going to need this. I'm already seeing it. I'm already seeing. I ain't gonna say I ain't gonna say it all, but it's a lot of women selling themselves with a husband, out of necessity. All right, it says that, and woof, that's a hell of a judgment for you to go through 3 depressions, go through a whole nother country, 2,500 miles away that undermined your country. You're going to go to the bully, you're going to go to his backyard, and then have to go through all of this shit. And then when this place gets locked down, you're going to have to go through that too. Because they're trying to set up camps, for these people. Come to this camp. Of course, we have to make sure that you guys have the right immunization. You know how that's going to go. All right, whatever spin they go, oh, they brought a deadly virus, so now everybody has to, problem, reaction, solution. And people are going to believe that shit. All right, it says, wherefore remember that ye being in times past Gentiles in the flesh, who were called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands. All right, in time past, they were Gentiles too. You guys were walking in darkness too. All right, but Israel can come back from that. See, the natural Gentiles, they always going to be the Gentiles. Israel can come back when we are quickened in the ways of the Lord. That at time you were without Hamashiach, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope and without the Most High in the world. But now in Yahweh Hamashiach, ye who were sometimes were far off are made nigh by the blood of Hamashiach. All right, and it's through the Lord, that we receive benefits daily. It's through the Lord that we were wakened and quickened. And these camps are coming for all of us. So, hey man, we understand that our Redeemer is going to come from heaven. The scriptures say, no man shall redeem thee. All right? You ain't going to get reparations. There ain't going to be no building. There ain't going to be no return to Black Wall Street. Hell no. All right, they've invested too much time, too much effort, too much blood, too much planning, plotting, secret councils, and hell no. And now they ship is still sinking after all of that. So I'm gonna leave it right there. Lord willing, it's edifying. Just a real-time example of the wickedness and Jake in politics, boy. They looking real bad right now because basically Jake is going to try to vote out all these people who allowed it, right? A sanctuary city. But guess what? The new people are going to do the same shit. You have to know the scriptures to understand that, man. It's 2 wings of the same bird. Lord willing and edifying. Shalom.